Hi everyone, I'm so excited to share some amazing news. If you are struggling and you're having a hard time feeling joy, maybe your heart is broken, maybe you just have depression, whatever it is, you're not feeling good. And no, I'm not going to push going to the gym on you, but I am gonna push going to the gym on you and watching your nutrition. But there's actually another basic human need that we have other than nutrition and the way we move our body. That is giving back. We have a need to be of service to other people, and it even says it in the word. There is something that happens within you where when you help someone else, and I'm about to read the verses to you all, I have them ready to go here. I do want to explain what happens internally when you help someone else. You help them see a different perspective, and this is why it's helpful to you, because when you are watching someone else gain perspective or you hear their story, and often what I have discovered is the Lord is so clever. He will place the person in front of you that is struggling with the thing that you were struggling with the other person, and you will see the perspective of the other person that you are personally having a struggle with. That person that you're talking to is in the shoes of that person. Did that make sense? I hope that it did. That has happened to me so many times, and it has given me compassion and understanding. And I'm like, wow, I had no idea that that person that I was in conflict with actually has greater, deeper root issues, that it's so easy to get offended, isn't it? Are you ready to dive into some scripture that explains what I just said, that we are created to help one another? We must sharpen one another. When we take the focus off of ourselves, that's when we are given some mental rest. Because isn't it so exhausting when you are just ruminating over and over on the problem that you're dealing with? When you take the focus off of you, you are doing God's work, because He calls us to help one another, to encourage each other daily. In Isaiah 58:10, it says, "If you spend yourselves in behalf of the hungry and satisfy the needs of the oppressed, then your light will rise in the darkness, and your night will become like the noonday. The Lord will guide you always. He will satisfy your needs in a sun-scorched land and will strengthen your frame." Okay, here's another one. I'm going to read a few for you all, and you can meditate on these and repeat them with me. These are the sword. If you know the armor of God prayer, this is how you defeat the darkness. If you can't shake it off, repeat these words. These are your weapons against the deceiver, the darkness of this world. I hope you have noticed how upside down everything is in this life, and it's the spirit world where truth is held. The generous will prosper. Those who refresh others will be refreshed themselves. This is Proverbs 11:25. I'll read that again. Proverbs 11:25. The generous will prosper. Those who refresh others will themselves be refreshed. Another one. After Job had prayed for his friends, the Lord restored his fortunes and gave him twice as much as he had before. He took the focus off of himself, and he prayed for his friends that were in need. Of course, Job was in need. He's probably the person in the Bible mentioned where everyone's like, I don't want to have a Job life. I don't want to have a Job moment. Nobody wants that. And no one wants the Lord to use them as a Job example in their life. And if you are chosen to have a Job-like experience, and honestly, I feel that a lot of us end up having everything stripped away from us, and it's not a fun process. So know that you are not alone. I would invite you all to leave in the comment section your Job moment. I will share mine rather quickly here because I want to stay on course. I went through a period in my life where I made $500 a month. I had my 2 daughters, and I had to move back home into a house that did not have my belongings. It didn't feel like home. You know, when you move in to someone else's house and it's all of their furniture and their decor, and I think women are affected by this probably a little bit more than men. I'm just making assumptions. I could be completely wrong. And I had only my faith. I had only hope. And I couldn't believe that everything I had lost. Everything except for the clothes on my back, no money. I just was uprooted. And someone left a comment. Excuse me. Someone left a comment that said, you haven't suffered, Jennifer. You don't know what it's like to suffer. And of course, there's always gonna be comments like that. You will see trolls on my channel, and it is what it is. I'm not worried. And I said, well, then I did list some things that I experienced. And it's not to make anyone feel sorry for me, but I realized that people may perceive me as having like such a good life, perfect life, because I have the joy of the Spirit. It comes from God. I used to not be this joyful or peaceful, but having to watch your little girls get the news that their dad was killed by a drunk driver, I would say that that's suffering. And I don't talk about it much because I'm not a victim. The Lord knows what he's doing. He knows why he called my late husband to heaven. Only God knows that. And people should not make assumptions of other people's suffering. Just because they look happy and peaceful does not mean that they do not know suffering. In Luke 6:38, it says, "Give, and it will be given to you." So whatever it is that you want in your life, if you want more love, give love. If you want more money, give more money. There's a story in the Bible that says a woman gave very little. She gave, I don't remember exactly, I'm so sorry, like a quarter, or not a quarter, but like 1 coin. And for everybody else, it was like, okay, she didn't really contribute that much, but that was all she had. She was the one that gave the most. Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, will be poured into your lap. Okay, the last one. The last one, it's about becoming the hands of Christ. We have to be an extension of him. And he says that we are the branch, and we are an extension to him because he is divine. And we have to remember this on a daily basis. It's not enough to talk to God every now and then. It has to be every single day. The same way you brush your teeth every day, at least I hope you brush your teeth every day, you wash your face every day, whatever it is that you do on a daily basis for hygiene, it's the same thing. It's an internal cleansing, a reset when you connect to God. Galatians 6:2. This is my favorite one. Carry each other's burdens. And in this way, you will fulfill the law of Christ. We have to help each other. honestly, do I want to carry other people's burdens? In my flesh, in my humanness, in my selfishness? No, of course I don't. But then I think of Christ and I say, God, is this something that you want me to do? Because I don't really want to deal with this right now, because sometimes I feel that I'm constantly going from carrying a burden to carrying another burden to carrying another burden. And I sometimes do feel exhausted. But I know that if the Lord tells me, yes, my dear, I need you to carry this other person's burden before the day is over, and I'm going to give you the strength. You can do all things through me. And so how I get the strength of Christ in those moments where I don't want to, and I'm just being honest, I say, Lord, I trust you. I don't feel it. I don't understand it. In fact, I don't even know what words to say to this person. But I trust that whatever it is that I need to say to them, I open up my vessel and I completely submit and surrender to you. You will be the one to speak through me, because I have no idea what is the best thing to tell this person that is not going to come off as judgmental or add more burden or make them feel worse or come off as passive aggressive. Drain me, get rid of me, less of me and more of you, Lord, because you are unbiased. I am sometimes in my humanness. Sometimes I don't know what to say, and I don't want to say the wrong thing, and I don't know the entire story, what's behind this person's experience, and we can easily be judgmental to people. Let me just give you a real quick example of how we can become extremely judgmental. If the Lord asks me, you need to carry the burden that this person is about to confess their sin to you. This is another thing that the Lord asks us to do, is that we must confess our sins to one another, to carry the burden, to be heard, for someone to hear your darkness and not be judgmental and not scorn and not put shame on you, but to carry that and to have empathy for you when you've made a mistake. So if someone, let's give a very easy example of where we can become very judgmental. If someone says, I cheated on my spouse, and you have been cheated on a lot, and that has been the source of your pain most of your life, infidelity. Let's say infidelity is a generational curse in your family, and it has become the norm, the cheating, the lying, the manipulating, that for the longest time you grew up thinking that that's just the way the world is. No matter who you get with, eventually they're going to cheat. You cannot trust any person. This is the way it is. And people end up having a lot of murder in their heart, hatred, and they have a lot of unforgiveness. So when the Lord says, I need you to carry the burden of this friend that I'm about to place in front of you, and they're going to confess their sin to you, and it's going to be the very thing that triggers you, the very thing that has hurt you most of your life or all of your life. And I need to speak to this person. And I trust you enough, Jennifer, for me to be the voice and give the message of reconciliation for this person to come to me, draw closer to me. I accept you, my dear. You cheated, you messed up, you're broken. I'm with you. I got you. It's okay. You're going to be okay. I forgive you. And Jennifer, you have to be the person that has the heart to not judge them, to not say anything, to not project any of your pain against this sin, against this way that this person is struggling with. That's the best example that I could give when the Lord asks us to carry each other's burdens, and we have to get rid of ourselves, our ego, our experiences, our past experiences, our pain, so that we can be an extension of Christ, be in his hand. And honestly, we cannot be that. It's harder to try to be that for other people when you yourself have unforgiveness in your heart. When you go through the fire and you clear all of the unforgiveness in your heart, everything, everyone, every situation, from the time you were born or from the time before you even were born, this is a recommendation that I will give you all. If you are carrying the burden of anger and bitterness, there's probably unforgiveness. Here's an exercise for you. You grab a piece of paper and a pen, and I want you to sit in silence, and I want you to think of all of the people that bring you pain. Don't judge it, don't question it, don't go down the rabbit hole. Just say, ooh, that person. You write that person's name down. John, that person. Sally, that person. Whatever it is, don't even think about what it is. Those were random names, by the way. Write all of the people that have betrayed you, haven't been there for you, turned their backs, lied, manipulated, that just hurt you to whatever degree. And see how many names appear on your paper. I just want you to know that that is not normal. What is normal is for you to get out a piece of paper and say, the only one that I'm disgusted with is the devil. That's the only being that I rebuke. There's no human walking on earth that I feel any bitterness towards. And if someone betrayed you and hurt you, they don't mean that they're on your happy list now. They're just null and void. They have nothing to do with your life. And when you think of them, you don't feel the pain anymore. It's just a memory of the past. It's a lesson. You're like, oh yeah, I remember so-and-so, that person that betrayed me, that person that manipulated me, that Jezebel girl, that narcissistic spirit in that person. And you can laugh about it. You know you've healed. And that is the norm. And now you are able to be a vessel, an extension of Jesus Christ, a healer. You cannot be a healer if you yourself have work to do. It's not normal to have a bunch of people on your paper, okay? It's hard work. I've gone through the fire, and if you want help with that, I'm more than happy to help you with that. A lot of times what is going to be required of you to go through the emotional growth that you need is someone by your side, someone to catch you and to encourage you, because when you do the deep emotional work, it's going to take so much of you physically that your nutrition has to be on point. You have to have proper sleep. You basically have to nurture yourself as if you were a newborn. Put all of the energy. Your wellness and self-care is top priority when you are about to do the deep emotional work of forgiveness. It is some heavy stuff. And if you need a nutrition plan, if you need a workout plan, if you need accountability, if you need me to be able to check in with me, hey, I'm going through this, or I have this question, that's what I do. That's what I'm here for. And I love helping people. I love to see when people have breakthroughs. And then here's my favorite part. Jennifer, thank you so much for your coaching. I will no longer need coaching from you anymore. I'm in a much better place. To me, that is the most rewarding message that I can get. And it's like, I don't know if y'all know this, but I used to be an elementary school teacher. And to me, to watch my students now. And I'm like, oh, little Johnny became this amazing person, and I feel so honored to have been part of his growth. And I'm so glad that I was able to be a part of that wonderful person's future and success story. That's just so amazing. So anyway, I do invite you to like my YouTube channel here, subscribe, share this video, and let me know if you do end up doing the forgiveness journal. You don't have to be specific, but leave a comment, come back and let us know, and we will pray over you. I love to pray over people, and I don't always reply to every message, but do know that I read them all. And if I do see a prayer request, I do pray over them. Rest assured, just because you don't get a like on my part does not mean that I didn't read it. God bless you. I'll see you on the next video. Adios.